Good morning and welcome into the number one Group of Five college football show in the world. This is the Group of Five guys, and our mission is to be the voice for the Group of Five football programs, the voice that the mainstream sports media refuses to be. We need your help to do that. We need you to hit the follow button on all the social platforms at Group of Five guys. Go to YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your best podcasts. Subscribe to the channel, leave a 5-star rating and a review. Most importantly, tell your family and friends all about us. On this episode, we've had a couple of coaches fired already this season. We're going to talk about that transfer portal window. And then we're going to talk about a bunch of the games happening Thursday, Friday, and some of the other ones on Saturday. Hope you enjoy the show. This is the Group of Five guys, and we are coming to you live.
They got Old Dominion week 3, and ODU is by no means a layup. Group of Five guys told me that, so that has to be true.
We looked at each other, we was like, Mike, the best place to be is a Group of Five. So I'm sitting here with the Group of Five guys, right?
Troy has won, it's been a winner, and it's a special place, so it's why you want the job.
But it's a ton of fun to watch a guy go to the NFL from a Nevada or a Colorado State or a Middle Tennessee or an App State, and fans follow that kid.
It was across there. You want to have this thing packed out, have the student section packed out, giving those guys hell on the sideline. I mean, that's part of it. I mean,
win or lose, like we're winning the tailgate.
There's no better place to be developed in this country than Boise State.
Well, Jeff, let's go ahead and get the cat out of the bag. Got a big scratch on my nose, and I can't quit looking at it. What I did was, I wear those, I wear my nasal strips.
Yeah, I saw it this past weekend.
Well, and I went to take it off somehow, and I got a little chunk of skin there, ripped it right off.
Jeez.
So it is not a pimple, anything like that. It's just a simple scratch on the nose there. Should be healed up in no time.
So that's one of those things where I don't think anybody would have noticed, but you just started the show and drew attention to it.
No. It's one of those things where you have to address it early and own it. You know what I mean? That way, if somebody does notice it, they're like, well, I mean, he knows. He knows. He knows. Get it? Yeah. But anyway, so it's neither here nor there. Well, Jeff, we've got a couple of fired coaches already we'll get to. Before we get into that, as always, Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning at 6 a.m., really at 5 a.m., the first thing I'm doing is I got my delayed brew on the coffee maker, Deca Gray Coffee. This is the Nebula. Make sure you go to decagray.com. Use our promo code GOFG. They got roast-to-order coffee on there. You click order, you put in our promo code. That's when they roast it. That's when they bag it. That's when they ship it directly to your doorstep. Whole bean, ground coffee, and K-Cups available on decagray.com. Also, been talking about it the last couple weeks. Levels Sports Picks, the Discord. Is there a way we can tell how many people we got in there so far? I mean, it's several hundred already, is it not?
I don't have the actual number, but I'm gonna throw a stab out there. We're over 1,000.
Oh, well, see, several hundred. Well over. Yeah. So really good back and forth on there. And like we've been talking about, it's not just college football. It's NFL, WNBA, NBA, MLB, UFC, golf, soccer. So you're one of these middle of the night guys watching European soccer. We got a guy on there too, Blake, and he's on fire still.
Yeah, Mr. Green is all on it. Putting in live bets for soccer across the world. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that guy's definitely got some Deca Gray because I don't believe that he sleeps very much at all. But make sure you check that out. There's a link in our bio on all the social platforms. Level Sports Picks. Follow that link. It'll walk you right through it. But we have a really good time. Also coming tomorrow, we hope.
What's the plan?
The full New Orleans, Tulane, Uptown documentary. Going to be fantastic. We had a great time in New Orleans. And you'll get to see some of that. You'll get to see some of the reasons behind what made that. If you saw that game on TV, you saw that atmosphere. I'm going to take you behind the scenes. What got us to that atmosphere? What got those great players in that building? So spent a lot of time with Coach Summerall and his staff. So it should be a really exciting documentary. Hoping to pump it out tomorrow. It's all on Ben Glizzy. All the pressure is on Ben Glizzy. And anybody, by the way, we've had a couple comments on, you guys' video and picture quality has gotten better. That is not a thing that Jeff or I has done. That's all Ben. So we got to give a shout out to Ben. He's kind of, I don't want to say new to the team. He came to Texas State with us last year. He's been coming with us, making the trips with us, and he has been a game changer for us. So shout out to him. All right. Well, we got our special guest, our contributor, our transfer portal NIL expert contributor, Chad Hasson, coming on. Chad, we've got UCLA and Virginia Tech fires their coaches. And by the way, those are not better jobs than Tulane and South Florida. So you guys quit asking. So quit asking. So those players are able to get into the portal. So what's the timeline on it? When are they officially able to get in the portal now?
Yeah, so they have 30 days. When you have a coaching change, you have 30 days to go into the portal. So we got Dante Lovett from Virginia Tech, a three-star corner, multiple Power Four offers. He's already into the portal. And people are asking, why do you go into the portal now? There's multiple reasons. If you're the player, like, look, I don't like it. I don't like this part of the game. I wish that the portal could be fixed, but just navigating it in its current state is something that players and fans need to be aware of. And so he goes into the portal now. One, he hasn't played 4 games yet. Virginia Tech's 0-3. If you haven't played 4 games, you can redshirt if you haven't already. So that's one big thing. The other is now that he's in the portal, like other coaches can officially, without tampering, they can reach out to him and talk to him. So if you're, let's just, you're a G5 program and you keep getting burnt and you have one corner spot that you're going to have wide open, well, the solution's already sitting out there for some programs. So he can be that first let's just call it a knee-jerk reaction to go get versus, you guys have heard it. The portal's a lot like speed dating. There's no evaluation. There's no getting to know the player, the parents, the family. It's like corner, power four corner, played at Virginia Tech, had these offers out of high school, 6 foot, can run. All right, he's our guy. So he got his name in the hat first to be that first guy taken at corner. So yeah, it's kind of so with the coaching changes, you get 30 days to go into the portal, and if you haven't played in 4 games, you can redshirt. So that's kind of what's going on with the coaching changes.
So was this something that was new that was put in with the rev share when it got approved, or because I don't remember like reading anything about this last year unless I just missed it and don't remember.
Yeah, so the portal rule hasn't changed. So that portal rule has kind of been around for a couple of years. So
With the
it's more
coach being
prevalent. It's
fired.
more prevalent now. With the coaching
Okay.
change. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't even honestly, I don't even remember having 2 Power 4 coaching jobs or any coaching jobs available at the end of week 3. I mean, to me, you're opening up you're opening up yourself to all of this exposure in the portal this early on for what? So that you can save face with your fan base and get started early. I mean, the buyout's probably huge. You're opening yourself up to tons of portal risk by dismissing your coach this early, and I just don't. And now these guys are stuck with an assistant coach that was you just brought in this year, Philip Montgomery at Tech. I don't know. It's just not good business to me. I don't know why. And what coaches are they going to go after? That's what I'm interested to see. What if they go after a Summerall or somebody at the G5 level? I see you guys have been tweeting about it a little bit. I mean, what if, let's not say Summerall because that's y'all's favorite guy, but let's just pick on, Memphis's coach or something like that. Let's say they get Memphis's coach and he goes in and now that opens up Memphis's roster to this whole like coaching change 30 day. It's just this early. I don't know. I don't know if I recall jobs being open this early, and it's just kind of like, what makes sense? Do you get yourself out there that early and start getting, or do you open yourself up to that portal risk? It's kind of, I don't know. I've gone back and forth on it. I just try to figure out. We'll see how Virginia Tech and UCLA's coaching searches end up, but I think firing them this early is probably a mistake.
Well, it
Yeah, I
definitely
think it-
creates a domino effect, right? After,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
then the poor interim guy, whoever that's going to be, it's like half your roster could jump in the portal. It's like,
Yeah.
what do you have to work with?
And then one last thing I'll leave you guys with is I don't know if you guys have seen Diego Pavia is kind of trying to get an extra year. There's a lot going on.
another extra
Dragon.
year.
Yeah, another extra year. So it's kind of like think about it. These guys are making millions of dollars. At least $1 million for a quarterback in the SEC, and that's his earning potential. He wants to stay in college as long as possible. He doesn't want to go get a 9 to 5, and he's not going to play in the NFL. So these guys are finding every angle. I mean, let's hypothetically follow me here. You leave the group of five and you go to a power four school and you're their starting quarterback for week one. Week two, you get benched, and week three, you're not playing at all. Would you be inclined to maybe pull a hamstring so that you can get a medical red shirt if you're only earning potential to earn in the millions? I mean, you're going to be finding ways to stay in college. So there's going to be a lot of creative ways happening here in this year. Something to be watching for this week. This is week 4. For those that need to follow along, you can play in 4 games before you redshirt. So and I believe I'm not exactly sure the medical redshirt rules, but if you play less than a certain number of games, you can also medical redshirt. So have a feeling we'll see a lot of guys that aren't getting playing time or playing on bad teams or their coaches leaving or something like that. We'll have a lot of guys kind of opting in or out of the season week 5 and 6, and you'll kind of see that, which is kind of sad. It's like
Hmm.
you kind of get a chance to roll the dice and see what happens, and then decide if you want to finish the rest of the year or not. So it's broken all the way around, and that's just something to keep an eye on here as we head into weeks 4, 5, and
Now,
6.
now, Chad, that hypothetical avatar player that you just brought up that
Hmm.
is definitely a created player in your mind there. How hot, like what kind of market is out there for a guy like that where we know tends to be their MO, right? And that's where, and I've been saying this for a long time about the portal in general, is at what point do these coaches do like what Tennessee did with Nico? You know what, we're not dealing with this, and not go after a kid like this.
I mean, you would. That's what I would think. That's what I would think. But I mean, you look at a guy like TJ Finley. I mean,
No.
every time he put his name in the portal, schools were banging down the door because he had such arm talent. And here's the thing with coaches, most of the time in those situations, you and I are saying, "Oh, I'm not dealing with that." But these coaches are saying, "Hey, just give me the talent. I can coach that out of him. I can coach him up to be this. I can put him in my offense and he can do this. I can put him in it." So they have a lot of that kind of like, "Hey, I'm the reason they can be successful here." And so, I mean, TJ Finley, I mean, honestly, he might even transfer again, but it wasn't like he stepped down every time he went somewhere. I mean, he was
Yeah.
you name all the schools: Auburn, Texas State, Western Kentucky. Didn't he go to Tulane for a hot minute? I
Tulane
mean,
for
I mean,
got in trouble there.
every single time he went into the portal, despite his hot potato act, he was sought after. So I would have to imagine, Avatar quarterback would have plenty of opportunity to go earn somewhere. It might not be the $1 million at the Power Four, but it'll be pretty good money.
Mm.
So.
What a shame. What have we gotten to? We are, and like you mentioned, most of these guys where this is their earning potential, they are going to go have to work 9 to 5. And I think you play football in college, you're going to go sell insurance more than likely, or something, or are you going to go work for Enterprise, rent a car, something just like it. I mean, you're talking to two guys that did both of those things. So, like, I mean, you can't behave the way that they behave, and you can't. Like, you're not just gonna not show up to rent cars one day because you don't think they're paying you enough, because guess what? They're paying everybody the same thing. And so I feel like we're really doing a disservice. And again, go get your money, and maybe you got a good advisor that can help you invest and you don't have to go really work. So, but the other part of it is I look at it, for some of these guys, if you're on UCLA or Virginia Tech and you're not playing now, or you weren't playing with the current regime, like, what a great opportunity you have now. especially if some of the guys do get in the portal and they're going to be stuck with whatever 40 guys on the roster. Like, what a chance you have to play and put some tape out there to then impress the new coach that comes in, or the January window. Now you've got some tape at least to where you can go to a more beneficial spot. So I think for some of these guys, if you're a guy like I was, this is a great opportunity, where you might, because if you're an interim coach, you're going to play. You're going to give the guys that want to play a chance. It's not going to be about you're just playing with house money. You don't have the pressure that these other coaches have. So you're just going to, you know what, man, this guy's been a pain in the ass. He ain't playing. Get in the portal. Go for it. And the guys that are working their butts off, maybe they're not as talented, but give them a shot. And I think those guys will have an opportunity later on.
Excellent point. It's all about the film right now for some of these kids and some of these programs. It's all about getting that film out there so you can get in that January portal, and that's where you get your payday. So excellent point there for the opportunity to get in the game and have that film out there. So,
well, Chad, we appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
thanks for
thank you
coming
guys.
on, Chad.
See you, buddy. Jeff, have you seen the Soar the Eagle account on Twitter?
I've seen bits and pieces of it, but from the looks of what I've seen, it's a damn troll account.
It is a troll account, and it's an official troll account. I think it's great. I think it's a great play by the American because it's like allowing them to be funny and talk some trash.
Yeah.
Petty, exactly. While, well, it's a mascot, so nobody's really going to say anything. But
is it their official account, or do we know? Or is it just some fan that started a burner account?
Well, when they announced it, they launched an official account. Now
Okay.
maybe I got swindled into one of these. Maybe it was a Centel account or one of these fake burner accounts. But I mean, it's been great. I mean, they put that trend that's going around again, where you crop out the header on your page. They did the Pac-2 or whatever, and then they put the North Texas 59 to whatever against the Pac-2. So pretty good, man. They're trolling. They're doing whoever's running that account's doing a pretty good job. But
there's
I know we got some
Soar the Eagle, and then there's a Soar the Eagle burner.
Well, so it's got to be the Soar the Eagle, right? I mean,
yeah, it's the official
account. Yeah, dude, pretty good.
It's good stuff. I like
pretty good. Old Soar the Eagle. Give them a follow if you're checking out the show. Hey, look, we got some games. So before we get into the main midweek games of the season, so starting in October, we're going to try to break up the show a little bit. So we'll do half of the games here on Wednesday, and then we'll do the other half on Friday. Typically, try to pick what should be the best games for the Friday show, the best 10 to 15 games. So if you don't hear us talking about your team on this one, we'll talk about it on Friday. But Thursday night, Jeff, Rice, 2.5-point favorites at Charlotte, 42.5 over under. Rice early in the first week, you thought, oh, okay, they beat Louisiana. They got really stout defense. Like they might be a problem. Now you look at Louisiana, maybe they're not that good. Charlotte, however, Jeff, bottom 20 in the country in all of the following categories: offensive points per game, defensive points per game, turnovers forced, turnovers allowed. So you don't score, the other team scores, you turn it over, and you don't get turnovers. I mean, what do? You don't do anything very good.
It's been a struggle for Charlotte. They played Monmouth a week ago. Now couldn't stop Monmouth's offense at all, but you end up getting the win. Connor Harrell played pretty well a week ago, and then receiver Ejai Mason, big performance with 10 catches, 228 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, defensively is where they're going to struggle. They've struggled all year. You mentioned all the stats, and then flip it over to Rice. Say what you want about Rice, but they run that shotgun, fly motion, triple option. They're not going to throw it. They're just going to run it over and over and over, and then get one of their backs, Jackson, pop one. So Rice is favored at 2.5. I could see Rice winning this game. For some reason, though, give me a little bit of a home dog. Maybe Jerry
Really?
Richardson Stadium might be rocking a little bit. This is just going to be, I feel like, a gritty, ugly game on both sides. Like from a visual perspective, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to take a chance on Charlotte. I'll probably not bet on this game. I could see the over potentially being in play. Probably not a lot of defense.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just excited to see this Rice offense as the only game on.
Yeah.
Get a chance to sit there and watch every single play because I haven't really seen it this year. So I'm excited to see it. I like Rice in it, though. I think Charlotte. I do think that once we get into conference play totally, you'll start seeing Charlotte maybe not win, but improve week to week, I think. I trust Tim Albin. I don't trust a whole lot of anything else over there right now, but I trust Tim Albin to figure it out.
Well, I had a futures bet before the season, and one of them was Charlotte at 2 wins. So we're 1 win away on a little parlay for that leg to cash. So
that leg, you got some other ones that are.
Hey, we're rolling.
You got the Blue Raiders that are behind schedule, buddy.
4 wins, my friend. 4 wins, and we got an
Jeff,
opportunity.
we're a quarter of the way through the season already.
It's crazy.
You know, it's rolling by. Friday, Tulsa at Oklahoma State. Boy, Tulsa has a tough few weeks. Now, Oklahoma State, by the way, is not good, but, still Oklahoma State, still an in-state Power 4 opponent. Going to be tough. They've been bad on offense, but Tulsa's next couple of weeks. So they're at Oklahoma State. They get Tulane at home. They're at Memphis. They're at East Carolina. Oof.
That's a brutal.
Tough one for you, Trey Lamb, but I don't think you're going to be able to get this one either at Oklahoma State.
I don't know. Kirk Francis, he has a concussion. He didn't play last week. So keep an eye on his timetable there as far as recovery. Probably don't have him back. Baylor Hayes played last week, had a touchdown, but also had an interception. I love their running back, Dominic Richardson, and the receiver, Zion Booker. I think they're both playmakers. Get these guys the ball in space. They're going to make big-time plays. They're going to play up. You should be excited. You're going on the road. Like you said, it's going to be tough. But this one, I could see it being very, very close, and maybe they can still win at the end. Who knows?
Wow. Well, Oklahoma State, I'm surprised. I'm interested to see how long Mike Gundy lasts there. I mean,
I'm surprised.
And I'll say this: that's a place that's got all the donor money you could possibly imagine. Problem is, how much influence do they have? See, a lot, that's a big part of this too. It's not all the resources and the money, because the more money and resources you get, the more hands that are going to want to, the more puppet masters they're going to want to be, when you get all that stuff. So Oklahoma State's an interesting job, and we'll see how long Mike Gundy lasts there. UAB at Tennessee. Maybe you catch Tennessee sleepwalking a little bit after a tough one for them from last week, and hang in there. You're going to have to score a ton of points because you're not going to be able to stop that offense. That offense, even against Georgia, was rolling.
Yeah, I think Tennessee's going to be pissed off, and they're going to come out and try and put up 70 on you. So you're going to have to score. Corey Milner has looked good at wideout for UAB, but I just don't see Kitna having a ton of time in the pocket.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Temple at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, funny, they appear to be on a bit of a mission this year. And you look at their schedule the rest of the way. I mean, you want to talk about a lack of strength of schedule that nobody's talking about. They don't play a ranked team. I mean, the ACC, because they don't play Miami. They already beat Clemson. They don't play Florida State. So they don't have a top opponent until Georgia in the final week of the season. So they're one of these teams that's sitting there like, we can run the table, lose to Georgia, win, maybe lose the ACC championship, and still get in. So I think they're playing. Temple struggled a bunch with Oklahoma's quarterback. Not the same guy, but Haynes King is pretty dynamic. So I think he's going to give them trouble.
It's going to be a tough sled for the Owls. They played Oklahoma a week ago. Couldn't even muster 100 yards of total offense. I know Oklahoma's good program, good team. Mateer's the real deal. I don't see them. I don't see them pulling this one out, especially going on the road. I know Georgia Tech had the big win, the big walk-off emergency field goal win, but yeah, I think shut up Buster Faulkner, man.
Yeah,
He's done a great
that's what
job at Georgia Tech.
I was going to bring that up. Buster and Jeep Wade over there because I was told, Jeff, that Coach Stockstill was unable to hire good assistant coaches. That's what I was told.
It's what people said out there in the
I think
social
keep
media space.
I think keep good assistant coaches is the key terminology we need to be using because now you look at that coaching tree. Hey, Buster and Jeep over there at Georgia Tech, Glenn Ellerby's at Tennessee coaching O-line, Matt Moore's at West Virginia
Willie
coaching
Simmons
O-line,
at FIU.
Willie Simmons, the head coach at FIU that's trending positively.
That's something. Hey, Buster Faulkner now is a name that everybody needs to keep an eye out for a head job at some point.
Yeah.
Throughout the country, whether it's Power 4 or Group of 5. I'd love to have him. Love to have him back in the Group of 5 at some point.
I agree. Sam Houston at Texas. I did not think Sam Houston was going to be 0-3 at this point in the season. I know those were not easy games, but I thought they'd get one. Now I'm sitting here looking at their schedule, and I don't see when or where if they get any. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out when it's going to come together for them. It just seems it's not clicking for Sam Houston.
It's been a struggle offensively. If you watch their games, and then they tried to do the 2 quarterback thing for a minute. I'm not sure what their identity is, and that's a problem offensively. So maybe they can figure some things out over the next couple of weeks. Get everything you want is still in front of you. You can still compete for conference. I know you lost to Western early, but you got to figure some things out if you're going to make a run. And I just don't know what they do on offense. Don't really throw it well. You don't necessarily run it great. Defensively, they've struggled. So, but again, let's get into the heat of conference, and we'll really be able to look and assess everything.
Yep. Yeah, Bowling Green at Louisville. James Madison was really able to hold that Louisville offense in check. Bowling Green is not the same defensively as James Madison. So I think it's going to be tough because Louisville can run it pretty well. I mean, they got loose at the end of the game against James Madison. I think it's going to be a little bit tougher. Now, Bowling Green offensively, and I'm not saying they're better than James Madison, but I don't think they're going to be as stagnant, I guess, as James Madison was. I just think it's going to be tough for them to stop Louisville.
Louisville's offense is really good. But this is what I'll say about Bowling Green. You're physical at the point of attack on the offensive line. You're going to be able to run the ball. I want to see Drew Pine. This is a big matchup for him. If he's a big-time quarterback, I want to see him produce in a game like this. Show up, be efficient, don't turn it over, and you'll give yourself a chance. But I think ultimately you're right. I think Louisville's offense is dynamic and too many playmakers on the outside.
Is Louisville, they're undefeated, right? Still?
Yep. 2-0.
2-0. Who do they play next week? Sorry, I don't have the.
I got you. Hold on. Pitt on the road.
Do you have their whole schedule up?
I do.
Who do they have in conference? Miami, Clemson, Florida State?
No Florida State, but they go on the road at Miami and then Clemson at home at SMU.
Oh, SMU too. I keep forgetting about them. All right. Well, they'll be in the mix for a little bit in the ACC. Kent State at Florida State, will be tough. I don't really know what else to say about this one.
Yeah. Brutal. I mean, they just every year the teams they have to play doesn't even give them an opportunity to get any type of momentum going. And I get it. These are your money games. You need them to fund your athletic department, but hate it.
Yeah, Jeff, I'll tell you one I'm interested in. Wyoming at Colorado. Wyoming, 2 touchdown dogs on the road, 44.5 over under. Wyoming defensively has been pretty good. Even last week, you look at last week, if you look at the final score, you think, oh, well, Utah blew them out. That was 3-0 at halftime. And that's Devin Dampier, who I know Wyoming is familiar with from his time at New Mexico, but 3 points in the first half, and then it was only 17 through 3 quarters. So Wyoming defensively maybe has figured something out like traditionally Wyoming has been. Now, offensively, we're still waiting on it, but Colorado defensively has been pretty bad. Colorado defensively has given up 6 yards of play on average. And we don't know what the hell the quarterback situation is there right now. So Wyoming might sneak up on the Buffaloes here, Jeff.
It's a very good point, Sprouse. Sneaky game. There would nothing make me happier than Wyoming to go on the road and get this dub. Ben Florentine, 3 sacks as a defensive tackle for the Cowboys. If they're going to defensively compete in this game, he's got to continue to get pressure on whoever the quarterback is. Salter has been benched from what the reports say. So I'm all about it, man. Come on, Cowboys. Step up, make some plays.
Can I make a couple of points about Colorado and Coach Prime here, Jeff?
Yeah, why not?
I actually like Coach Prime. Now, I don't know the reason he benched Salter, but I like that he's not afraid, to go with Staub like that last week. That takes a lot, right? We talked to Coach Summerall about doing that. When you go with the guy that's like the third guy on the depth chart and he's not the guy the fans want. Now, the other point on the opposite side of it is it wasn't 6 months ago. I had to listen to all the talking heads at ESPN tell me that guy needed to be the coach of Alabama or the Dallas Cowboys next year. They don't even give him a chance to win anything. And he hasn't, but I do respect the way he's been approaching stuff. I like the guy. I liked him as a player, but I just you don't know what's going on behind the scenes over there.
That's right.
Anyway, Cal at San Diego State is interesting too. I was looking at this one for a little while. San Diego State is still pretty good defensively. And Cal is although 3-0 is about as one-dimensional as it can be. They can't run the ball. So I want to see San Diego State in that pass rush get some pressure on there, and then you got a chance. But then again, you got to score. You can't give up the quick 3 and outs like we've talked about. So that's where I'm a little bit worried. But I think San Diego State's got a shot here, Jeff.
I agree with you. Home dog, come out, play great defense, get pressure on the quarterback like you mentioned, and it's going to give you a shot. Now, offensively is where, I just haven't seen a lot from Denegal. They got to get it going. Sutton's a good running back. Get him in space. Let him make some plays. I think Cal gets the win, but I think it's going to be a very close game.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. NIU at Mississippi State. Mississippi State's undefeated, unranked, I believe, right? Which, again, is, hey, Mississippi State, buddy. Anybody else in that conference is 3-0, and they're in the top 10 in the country. Yeah. So just so you know, especially with a ranked win. They might be ranked. Are they ranked?
Mississippi State?
Yeah, they might be. They beat Arizona State. And
no, they are not.
Isn't that wild? You ain't in the club, Bulldogs, Starkville. You're not in the club. But anyway, I'm just not sure about Northern Illinois this year, Jeff. They haven't had good quarterback play. I think you need good quarterback play when you play an SEC team or a team like this. So I think it's going to be tough for them.
Yeah, Josh Hulse hasn't looked great so far this year. They've been able to run the ball like NIU typically always is their calling card. So I'll say this. They have a great defensive line, physical, stingy on that side of the ball, and they're going to pound it 20 to 30 times throughout this game. Maybe they can keep it close. They play, down and dirty style type of football. It's how they want to play. Maybe they can keep it close, but I think ultimately not being able to throw the ball much at all, hurts you because they're going to load the box. They're going to give you 8 guys and force you to try and hit some big time throws on the outside.
Yeah, then you're going to get 3rd and long, and they just hadn't been able to convert on that this year. Georgia State at Vandy. Boy, haven't we seen this one before, Jeff?
Yes, we have.
I don't know. Can TJ Finley give them a tough time? Vandy's rolling right now. They got all the confidence in the world, which is a little bit annoying, but also it's, they're backing it up.
Pavia, for all the, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, he's been able to back up everything so far that all the trash, all the expectations. Like he's lived up to them, and credit to him. I don't see Georgia State being able to win this game. I just don't. I mean, it's setting up his nurse mother on a date with Theo Vaughn. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw that. I did see that, and he's looking to get a date with Tate McRae, which I had to look up. I don't even know who that was. I had to look her up.
I don't either.
But yeah, Vandy's rolling, dude.
26.5. It seems kind of high, but
yeah, it does.
But Georgia State, I don't think they're as well rounded as a team as South Carolina is.
Right.
And Vandy handled them. So
yeah, exactly. South Carolina State at South Florida, big bounce back win. You got to have a big win, then you get a week off, and then let's get ready for conference play if you're South Florida. This is your challenging part of the season, right? Now, I didn't think they'd be 2-1 at this point. So I thought my concern for South Florida was if they started 0-3, if it all crumbled. So now you're 2-1. You got everything right in front of you. You are still very much one of, if not the favorite in the group of 5. You have to handle business in conference. So get this win, get out of there, get some rest, get ready for conference play because that American race is about to be wild this year. I mean, it is going to be keeping up with the Joneses with South Florida, Tulane, Memphis, UTSA, Navy, Army. It's going to be a lot of fun. But for South Florida, just get this one done and get out of there.
Run your offense, clean up some things and get guys that, your second and third depth chart guys, get them an opportunity to get on the field, get meaningful snaps because you never know down the road when you're going to need them. Somebody goes down. That's what this game is to me. Clean up offensively and defensively things with that first team, and then get a lead and let your other guys get some good time on the field.
Yep. Arkansas State touchdown favorites on the road at Kennesaw State. We hadn't really seen the Kennesaw team from week 1. Arkansas State, a little inconsistent, right? But I think they've got the guys to handle this.
I think Kennesaw State's going to be ready. They got some playmakers offensively, that can score touchdowns, get explosive plays. I don't think they get the win, but I don't necessarily like the 6.5. Their Arkansas State's defense has been non-existent. So yeah. I think this is going to be a shootout game. I like the over at 55.5. Keep an eye on that if you can work that down a little bit. But I am excited to see both these teams, in this matchup because you should be able to get a good litmus test for both programs.
Yep. Isn't it funny how Arkansas State, it's funny how programs change. Like when we were playing, Arkansas State was this big physical defense, and now they're just not that at all. It's funny how that the MO shifts with the coaches and with the program. Murray State at Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State will get a big win here, and then move on to the next. Marshall at Middle Tennessee. Historically, Middle's done well. They've won 3 out of the last 4 against Marshall. Typically pretty good games. Marshall's 2.5-point favorites. Both teams won this past week. Not very impressive doing it. Both teams before that looked pretty bad at a lot of times. So big one for both of them. I mean, hey, winner gets to 2-2.
This is a huge game for both programs, in my opinion. It's MTSU's homecoming. I'll be there, so if any Marshall fans are making the trip over, shoot me a DM. Would love to say hi, maybe have a cold beverage with you. Middle needs this game. They need it bad. I need it to get over 4 wins for the season. So spread them out, go fast. That's the only thing that has worked offensively for you. Don't overthink, the situation. You're built to get, the ball out in space on the outsides and then take shots vertically. Do that. We'll see. I'm not going to pick. I can't let my bias, because I think Marshall's a good team. And for all the things that they had to replace this last year, and I'm a fan of Tony Gibson and what he's trying to build there. I think it's going to be a physical game. I think you're going to see a lot of explosive plays from both offenses because the defenses tend to give up those explosives. Just come on, Blue Raiders.
Get it done, guys.
Get it done.
UT Martin at Missouri State. Give me Missouri State. Jacob Clark, big day for him, I think, at quarterback. Nevada at Western Kentucky. Now, here's where Western Kentucky in the past they ran into Toledo, right, who is playing really well, and that offense sputtered a little bit. Let's turn it right back on, right? Get McIver, these wide receivers going right back again as you get ready for conference play, because in the past, Western has slipped up in a conference game or two. I want to see them get that thing rolling again and keep it rolling for the whole season.
Agreed. Get back to this offense flowing like it was in the first 2 weeks. I think they'll get it done. Nevada struggled against Middle Tennessee. Middle should have scored 3 or 4 touchdowns in that game and didn't, just because they had drives that didn't finish. So now if Western comes out and doesn't look crisp in this one, it'll be cause for concern just a little bit, because this is a team they should beat probably by 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think they will. And I think Western covers that 10.5, by the way, also.
Yeah, I agree with you, especially at home.
I think this is a 2 to 3 touchdown win for Western Kentucky. Monroe at UTEP. Interesting. I mean, see what UTEP's got. Let's see what Malachi Nelson's got when you're done playing Texas and you're done playing some of these teams. Let's see what both of these programs are about.
I like UTEP in this game. I think Malachi Nelson has a big performance. Kenny Odom has been a dog at receiver for last year and this year to start the year. And I think Monroe just in the back end defensively struggles. So just, again, don't overthink this, guys. You know where your playmakers are in offense. Offensive coordinators around the country, whether it's a running back or whether it's a wideout, just feed the machine. Let those guys eat. Get him 4 or 5 catches. Promise you he'll get close to 100 yards and probably have a touchdown.
Yep, I like it. Wagner, the Seahawks at Central Michigan. Drinkle talked about that hard schedule at the top of the season. Now they get the FCS opponent before they get into conference play. Give me Central Michigan. Give me the Chippewas. Big win over Wagner. Ball State at UConn. I'm gonna be real honest with you, Jeff. I've not watched or done a ton of looking at Ball State this year. Other than there's a reason they're 3 touchdown dogs at UConn. Give me UConn all day long.
Yeah, Ball State hasn't been able to stop anybody. Kyle Kelly at quarterback is a dual threat type of player, can run around and make plays. But UConn coming off a tough overtime loss to Delaware, I think they're going to be tuned up, ready to go. And Pagano, the quarterback, has played really well at the start of the season. So I look for him to continue to do that.
Yep. Louisiana at Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan has been pretty bad this year on every aspect of the game. Louisiana hadn't been a whole lot better, to be quite honest with you. Obviously, their quarterback's out. They haven't been able to do much. I mean, I think Louisiana will win this game, but I think it was I can't remember which game it was you were talking about. Just going to be an ugly, tough to watch football game.
Exactly what that's going to be.
But give me the Cajuns, though. Get back in the win column, Terry Johnson. Toledo, 2 touchdown favorites at Western Michigan. Listen, Western Michigan has shown flashes of being competitive. But Toledo, I feel like, is on a mission this year. And I feel like everybody's talking about South Florida and Tulane and UNLV and Boise State. And Toledo's sitting there thinking, hey, we got the brand power. We got a team. We got a really good defense that can play with anybody in this country. We got a veteran quarterback. We can run the ball. We got a good offensive line. We're good everywhere at Toledo. I think they roll.
This is a game that they should roll. Now, I love Jalen Buckley for Western Michigan, the running back. But if Toledo is what we think they are, this is a game that they will cover that 13.5 and handle business. If they don't, now I know it's conference. MAC games are always tight in conference. But if Toledo is a playoff team that I think we both believe they are, They need to cover and they need to win big in this game. Make a statement.
Yep, I agree. And you started going there in the past. This is one of those ones where Toledo would lay an egg
Yep.
and not be the team we think. Gardner Webb at Ohio. Ohio's going to win that one. Duquesne at Akron. Akron better be careful, boy. I mean, they at least scored some points against UAB, but, you know.
I think the Zips handle this. They get it done at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, Akron.
Going into the Mountain West a little bit, Idaho at San Jose State. I hadn't really seen much of San Jose State. They had an early bye week, didn't they? So, I want to see them be the team that I had freaking get into the conference championship game based on their schedule. But, I know the schedule now. It's a tough sample size. Idaho. Was it Idaho that gave UNLV everything, or was it Idaho State that gave UNLV?
State. But Idaho's 2-1.
The Vandals.
Yeah.
Vandals, dude. You're lucky this thing ain't in the Kibbe Dome. You'd be in trouble, San Jose State. But give me the Spartans here. I think they'll turn it on.
The Spartans have so much talent, especially offensively. Walker Egan has just turned it over in the first 2 games. Hadn't looked very efficient or crisp. I mean, you got Floyd Chalk. Danny Scudero has looked great. Transfer from Sac State. They just haven't put it together yet. So maybe this is the game that, coming off of that bye, they're 0-2. You got to get on the win column because I do think they're talented on both sides of the ball to make a run for this Mountain West Conference.
Yeah, I like it. McNeese at Utah State. Utah State coming off that big win over Air Force. They'll get it done again. Utah State's one to start watching for, Jeff.
They're my team on Monday to keep an eye out for. And Bryson Barnes was Mountain West the offensive player of the week. I think they continue to roll and a little disappointed.
What do you got?
A little disappointed that we didn't have Utah State a little higher in our preseason analysis.
Well, you live and you learn, Jeff.
No doubt about it. There's nothing you can do. But, I feel like that's one we
might have missed a little bit.
Might have missed.
All right. Moving over to the Sun Belt, Maine at Georgia Southern. All of a sudden, Georgia Southern is going to be 2-2. Paulson.
This is why we can't overreact in the first 4 weeks of the season.
Yep.
It's early. You're still working out the kinks in a lot of situations. You have a tough West Coast road trip where not only is the travel, you're playing 2 physical, good programs. Come back home, you get a big win against Jack State. Now you got Maine. Then you get into conference.
It's funny, like Virginia Tech right now. I don't know what was going on behind the scenes. I don't really know. I don't pay a ton of attention to Virginia Tech, but they lose their first 2 games. And who'd they lose to? Vanderbilt and somebody else. And his seat warms up a little bit, but then they lose to Old Dominion and we've had enough. But what if 8 weeks from now, Old Dominion is the best team in the Sun Belt and Vanderbilt is rolling in the SEC? That's why I think these are now UCLA, I think is different because UCLA has just looked. I mean, that was an odd hire from the jump. I mean, that guy started off with a press conference that was bad. Now our coaches have a bad opening press conference, but that you got to wait, man. You got to wait it out because you lose these games sometimes and you're thinking, well, I mean, would you expect them to beat? Like, well, I know you might say we're Virginia Tech. We've won national championships. We expect this. It's not that but you're not that anymore. And so, Michael Vick ain't walking through the doors.
You're not that guy, pal.
You're not. So just be careful. Be careful what you wish for is all I'll say. That's why these places now, Frank Beamer was old, but one coach leaves and then you're going to spend the next 20 years trying to replace that guy with coach after coach after coach. So anyway, Coastal at South Alabama. Jeff, I think South Alabama is really good, buddy. I think they can run the ball. They're good on defense. Bishop Davenport has been everything that they need him to be. He's been efficient. I think he had an interception last week against Auburn, but other than that, he hadn't turned it over. He's pretty accurate. I think they're really good. I think they've got it. And again, we talked about this, but Louisiana not looking as good. I think South Alabama is very much in this Sun Belt mix in the West. And then Coastal, they're okay on defense, but offensively they're bad. They hadn't looked at it at all.
That's my concern for this game. I think this game could potentially get out of hand. And if it does, I mean, we've talked the last couple weeks, and we try not to like do this, but when it's the fan base is upset, like we take a little bit of stock in that because fan bases are irrational. But last year, I felt like Coastal didn't live up to their potential. This year, it hasn't looked great, especially offensively to start the year. So if you get beat pretty bad by South Alabama, I think that seat really warms up for Tim Beck. Maybe he can turn it around. Maybe that offense can get going. But I hadn't seen it yet. And like you mentioned, South Alabama with Davenport, Bullock, Voisin, they have looked really good against some tough opponents in their first opening 3 weeks.
Yeah, they have. And, Tim Beck came out in the offseason sort of not complaining, but being realistic about what they had and the resources that he had and what was available to him, and kind of almost planted this seed, like almost a warning, like this is what's about to happen. Like if we can't get this, this, and this. So it's going to be tough for Coastal. That's a cool place, man. You got a pretty decent fan base.
And you're at the beach.
About 45 minutes from the beach. Did we ever release that time lapse?
It was like 20 minutes long time lapse.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, when we went to Conway 2 years ago, took the whole family. We stayed on Myrtle Beach. We got a little beach house for the week. We all took our wives and kids. And everybody that was when the App State Coastal rivalry was at its peak. So all the App State fans were like, I want to see how long it takes you to get to the beach. And we time-lapsed it. I mean, it was a trek. Now there was traffic. There's a lot. Our beach house was not the closest, beach. So, but it took like 45 minutes, dude. Anyway, Nichols at Texas State. Give me Texas State all day long, Jeff.
Yeah, I want to get them back rolling. See that offense, how it looked in the first 2 weeks. I think they will. Texas State, South Alabama, two teams in the West that look the best so far in this season.
Yeah. Yep. Joe, I don't know. Why would Shane Beamer leave South Carolina to go to Virginia Tech?
I don't think so.
I mean, I know there's the family ties. I know Virginia Tech, Blacksburg, Enter Sandman, all that stuff's cool. But I mean, I feel like, although here's the thing, like South Carolina's probably not winning anything, a bunch of games. Sure, they'll be good. They might be ranked, but they're probably not winning the SEC anytime soon. Virginia Tech, I mean, Clemson appears to be maybe falling off a little bit. Florida State and Miami, are they back? The glory days of Florida football back? I don't know, but Virginia Tech, maybe you think you got a better chance to win something at Virginia Tech than South Carolina? Maybe.
That'd be the biggest draw, I think, is can you compete in conference and win a chip, which a lot of the teams in the SEC has not been able to do. I was going back and forth with some of my dear friends that are Tennessee Volunteer fans. I was like, look, buddy, you guys hadn't won conference since 1998. Like, I'm talking 30 years coming up.
Yep.
So you can say all the things that you want, but you hadn't won a natty. Like everybody's goal is to win a national championship and then to win a conference championship. And you haven't done either. Sniffed it in pretty much 30 years. So
we're going to have to start reminding people how bad that team got beat in the playoff last year, because you already know what's coming. You already know what's coming when they talk about South Florida getting beat by Miami that way. But that's the pitch I make to the Alex Golish, the Dan Mullins, the John Summeralls. Like, you win the American, you're probably in unless you have 3 losses, or if Boise State is good. Like in the Mountain West, I think based on branding, it's like Boise State, your top 3 in the American, Mountain West champion, American champion, then Toledo.
Yeah.
James Madison probably could be in that mix too at the top, but it's not about, I'm telling you, even in the group of 5, it's not about the conference. It's about the brand. This is This is obvious stuff. Obvious stuff. My tweet is still viral, by the way. I got almost 3 million views on that tweet.
That's
Jeff.
insane.
And they're all saying, well, the reason that they're 14 is because they started at 8. And I'm like, oh yeah, how come they started at 8? How come that 0-0 team that was bad at the end of last year, how come they got to start at 8? And playoff teams don't even start in the rankings. You let me know.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got a couple voicemails, Jeff. Let's get to them. You guys keep calling that hotline. So Friday, we'll talk about the rest of the games, and then call the hotline 615-900-4286. Give us your predictions so we can play them on the show on Friday. So if you're gonna make a prediction, you need to call by Thursday afternoon, probably.
Yeah.
If you're gonna call post game, you just need to get it in at any time between when your game ends on Saturday to Monday or Wednesday. We can play it. But 615-900-4286. Jeff, let's see what we got.
What's up, group of 5 guys? It's App Dub. Yep, no App Dub this weekend. You got to call when you win them. You got to call when you lose them. Unfortunately, we lost to a Southern Mississippi team. Yeah, that's what happens when you turn the ball over 3 times in the inside the 10-yard line. I guess the good news is a couple of those passes in the end zone didn't go incomplete. They just went to the wrong freaking team. But I digress. It's okay. We're going to figure it out. Season's early. Hate to drop a conference win that quickly in the season. But, yeah, it happens. At least we got Charles Huff feeling good about what he's doing down there, and he gets to keep his job, having brought home the first FBS win to Southern Miss in gosh knows how long. Didn't have to be against App State, but unfortunately it was. That's all right. We own it. We got to play better. Not a great game to watch with all 14 fans in the stadium down there. I think 9 of them were App State, but Huff will get that stadium filled up. They keep winning. They'll be in a good spot. We just got to get back to our winning ways. So there you go. No super duper love this week for the Mountaineers. Can't get notoriety if you can't get back to winning, but it's early. We'll get there. Shout out to Zach Green from last week for his kind words about Charlie Kirk. That's a good dude talking about a good dude, so much respect. Hope you guys have a great week. Hope you enjoyed your time down at Tulane. Awesome experience, I'm sure. Hope Santana Hopper didn't get out of hand, but I know he's adding a lot to that team, so former App State guy for those of you who don't know. All right, fellas, peace out. App Dub out.
Appreciate it, App Dub. According to the old Google search, it said there was 24,000 in attendance. Southern Miss.
Yeah. In Hattiesburg, Southern Miss has that tradition to where you let them start winning, that place is going to be rocking. Absolutely rocking. Now, I'm curious. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope we don't see it, but I'm curious how long of struggles in Boone will it take, or would it take? Maybe somebody in Boone can educate me on this. Like, has there ever been a time when you've not been good? So, how long until maybe some people stop coming? It's a curiosity for me there. But anyway, what else we got?
Last one. Good old Terry Johnson.
Guys, I'm telling you, God, we're the worst team in America. Like, that's just the God honest. We are the worst. We're literally the worst team in America. We are 134 out of 134 in passing yards this year. We got 4 passing yards against Missouri, and they had their walk-ons in the game late in that game. Like, Missouri's a great team. I'm not gonna deny it, but we lost so many pieces last year, and we thought that we could fill it with a few transfer portal pieces and recruiting from Dez's past few years. The pieces we brought in just aren't getting it done, and the pieces that brought in, Shelton Sampson, starting receiver, give shitty effort. And it's not just him. The whole team gives shitty effort. Like, you can see it on the tape. Like, you can watch every play in that Missouri game and say, this team just doesn't care. Like, loafing around on routes, trying to tackle, can't tackle, missing and whiffing on blocks, and act like, oh, man, like they do that, clapping thing, throwing hands in the air, oh, my bad. and they just fucking suck. And this NIL era is destroying this Cajuns, culture. I can't even call it a culture. It's a culture of losing. That's what it is. And I see Tulane and John Summerall, and their culture is amazing. And we had the best years we had with Billy Napier, and and I love Dez. I love him, man. I want him to be our coach. We hire Dez. We placed the interim tag on him for one game, and then we hire him full time. And we're like, yeah, we can sustain this. And it was a cheap fucking hire. It was a cheap hire. We should have got anybody, any fucking person, any fucking coordinator, anybody that could coach a team that has fucking experience as a coordinator. This guy's never been a fucking coordinator. And we had a fluky year last year, winning 10 games. We're in the playoff conversation. It was a fluky as fuck. And we are stuck with this staff till 2029. And Tulane is probably going to the CFP. Tech looks good. I mean, ULM is fucking at least play with passion. This is a fucking shitty team. It's shitty. It's a fucking horrible team. They fucking have no passion. They don't give a fuck. Fuck this team. I fucking hate it.
Gee, Jeff, you may have to go back to the
I might
censoring.
have to.
That Terry, maybe Billy Napier's back on the market after a couple more games, buddy. They're going down. Florida's going down to Miami. They'll more than likely lose that one. But then you just watch. I'm telling you, if they don't fire him, you just watch Florida. You just watch end of the year. They're 8-4, decent club, and they lost to some good teams on a tough schedule. That's what everybody said was going to happen. But oh man, yeah, they can the Virginia Tech guys play right away? Can you just go? So. That's the other thing. And I meant to ask Chad this earlier in the show is every time I've said something about the timeline of the portal window, the rebuttal that I get is, well, they got to do it. It's got to line up with classes. You sure about that? Because here we are in September and we're going to open the portal. Now I get it. It's extenuating circumstances, but still that doesn't change their class schedule.
Still think they have to finish the semester.
So they get in the portal and they sign and commit somewhere and then they stay at Virginia Tech to finish their classes. Is that?
I would assume so, or else you're not going to get any credit for those.
Okay.
I mean, it's another piece of this that doesn't get talked about enough. I don't necessarily know. I'd assume they have to stay.
Because otherwise, I mean, I don't know, why even have the window? Why not just sit out if you're gonna enter, sit out and say you're gonna enter the portal. Yeah. If you still have to stay there, if you still can't get on your next campus till January, why not do the portal with everybody else?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess technically you could withdraw from your classes and then go, but I don't think you're not going to be able to enroll mid-semester at the new school. So you're kind of just sitting there, probably not technically on scholarship. I don't know how all that works.
Jeff, we're going to have a generation of student athletes that play college football for 8 years and get one liberal studies degree. That's what we're going to have. Instead of guys that take advantage of this, you could get a freaking doctorate, dude.
I know.
For all the eligibility. Now, I get it. You're not thinking about that. I wasn't thinking about that stuff, but man, you're going to have somebody 30 years old, just graduated college with a half-assed degree, used to making $1 million a year, and some company's going to be like, you've got no experience, you're 30, and you're going to make 50 grand, buddy.
And they're not going to want to do it.
And they're not going to want to do it, and they're not going to know how to do it. They're
Yeah.
It's a big problem. I got a big problem, Jeff.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do. But anyway,
that's it.
That's all we got for you guys today, man. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you do like the show, make sure you hit the follow button on all the social platforms at Group of Five Guys. Go to YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the Believe Network, wherever you get your best podcasts. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell that tells you when we go live. Make sure you tell your family and friends all about us. Stay tuned. Tomorrow, Big Tulane documentary dropping. Have a good rest of the week.